नमस्कार, स्पिरिचुअल डॉक्टर्स फॉर होलिस्टिक हेल्थ प्रोग्राम में आप सभी का स्वागत है। यहाँ पर हम अलग अलग एक्सपर्ट स्पीकर को बुलाते रहते हैं, जिनके माध्यम से हेल्थ के स्पिरिचुअल डायमेंशन, होलिस्टिक एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ हेल्थ पर अधिक हम समझ सके, जान सके। और आज हम सिल्वा मेथड के बारे में सुनने वाले हैं। आप में से कितने लोगों ने, जिन लोगों ने अभी तक बता चुके हो, दो तीन लोगों ने आप रिप्लाई आया कि आई हैव बीन सिल्वा प्रैक्टिशनर, और किन लोगों ने सिल्वा को प्रैक्टिस किया है या सुना है, सिल्वा मेथड ऑफ माइंड रेगुलेशन, सेल्फ हेल्प। हमारे ब्रेन में 5 ब्रेन वेव स्टेट होते हैं, 5 अवस्थाएं होती हैं हमारे ब्रेन की। इसके बारे में शायद आपने सुना हो, बीटा, अल्फा, बुक पढ़ी है। बहुत बढ़िया सर। सिल्वा एक पॉपुलर मेथड है। माइंड वैली बहुत अच्छा काम कर रही है। कई सारे फाउंडर ऑफ माइंड वैली, विसेन लखियानी, वो सिल्वा के प्रैक्टिशनर हैं। माइंड वैली के अलावा डॉक्टर वेन डायर, बहुत नाम रहा, ही इज नो मोर, 2 साल पहले, बट एट टाइम ही वाज वेरी इन्फ्लुएंशियल एंड वेरी पॉपुलर। उनकी बहुत सारी बुक्स हैं। इनफैक्ट उनको फादर ऑफ मोटिवेशन कहा जाता है, डॉक्टर वेन डायर को। ही हैड बीन सिल्वा प्रैक्टिशनर। मेरी एक बहुत फेवरेट बुक है, ऑथर है रिचर्ड बैक, जोनाथन लिविंगस्टन सीगल, उसकी स्टोरी बुक है। बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग बुक है, पढ़िएगा कभी। रिचर्ड बैक की कई सारी बुक्स हैं उनकी, मसीहाज हैंडबुक, रिमाइंडर ऑफ एडवांस सोल। और रिचर्ड बैक तो टाइम मैगजीन पे भी आए थे जब वो 72 में ही। वो सिल्वा मैन के प्रैक्टिशनर हैं। शक्ति गवेन, क्रिएटिव विजुअलाइजेशन, और उस पर भी बहुत उनका वर्क है, स्पिरिट गाइड। तो कई सारे लोग सिल्वा के प्रैक्टिशनर रहे हैं, यहाँ पर भी कुछ लोग हैं। तो जो अच्छी बातें हैं वह तो अधिक से अधिक फैलनी चाहिए। हम अपने आप को स्ट्रेस जोन, हाई बीटा जोन में ना रखें, सिर्फ लो बीटा जोन में आए, रिलैक्स रहना सीखें, और जब चाहें तो अपने आप को रिलैक्स कर सकें। अल्फा, which is a bridge between conscious and subconscious. Beta is conscious mind, theta is subconscious mind. Alpha is bridge between conscious and subconscious mind. Subconscious is 90%, more than 90%. Conscious is very less. अगर हम सबकॉन्शियस पर काम करना जानते हैं तो क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ, सेल्फ हीलिंग, और जो भी हम जीवन में चाहते हैं, मैनिफेस्टेशन, सभी काफी आसान, सहज हो जाएंगे हमारे। तो आप सभी तैयार हैं? आज किन्हीं को कुछ कहना हो रिगार्डिंग देयर प्रैक्टिस, जिन्होंने सिल्वा प्रैक्टिस किया हो, इफ दे वांट टू शेयर देयर एक्सपीरियंस, तो हम इसको ले सकते हैं। यू कैन रेज योर हैंड और यू कैन टाइप इन द चैट देयर एक्सपीरियंस विद सिल्वा। प्रिपेयर नहीं है मेंटली बोलने के लिए? Did like so?
Sir, I'm actually new to Silva. I don't know what it is.
जो जानते हैं उनके लिए है। तो अल्फा स्टेट ऑफ रिलैक्सेशन से फैमिलियर है? डॉक्टर गौरव आनंद इज राइटिंग, मैं अपने माइंड को शार्प करने के लिए और एकेडमिक्स को इम्प्रूव करने के लिए आई यूज्ड टू प्रैक्टिस। आज की जो हमारी स्पीकर हैं डॉक्टर सोनिया फिलिप, शी इज microbiologist and medical writer. She is from Bangalore. She is practicing Silva for last 5 years. और अपनी पर्सनल लाइफ में जब उसके बहुत सारे बेनिफिट्स एक्सपीरियंस करने के बाद she decided to become its trainer. The Silva India Group by Dr. Vimol 90s में ही इसकी स्थापना हुई थी। I contacted Silva India to get speaker. So Dr. Sonia is here and she will tell us details about the Silva method. Using them, we can access our alpha and deeper brain state. So Dr. Sonia, welcome on the platform of Spiritual Doctors for Holistic Health.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me here.
So with your personal experience with training part, earlier you were a practitioner and after some time you become trainer. So the practice of Silva, does quality is different of practicing or is it same?
I have not practiced other methods of meditation, and the reason behind this is that I tried, but the thing is I could not clear the thoughts from my mind. So many of the practices that we have, it asks you to keep your mind thoughtless, keep your mind calm, relaxed, but I was not able to do that, though I tried a lot. So one day I stumbled upon Silva. Before that, there is also a backstory. So I had, you must have heard about the law of attraction, have you?
Yeah.
Okay, so way before I started Silva, I had heard about the law of attraction, and I was trying it out quite a lot. It had really fascinated me. And but then, I felt that there's something missing. Like, there's some missing link somewhere. And so somewhere, as I was reading more and more, I came across Silva. And I think Silva was that missing link, because the Silva takes you a lot more. It takes you on your spiritual journey a lot more. It helps you. One is it helps you to relax by the techniques. There's a special technique that Jose Silva developed, which is really simple. Like people like me who couldn't relax, I could do it. So it was very simple technique for people like us who have brains which just can't quieten down. And that's where my journey with Silva started. I realized over a period of time I was becoming more calm, I was becoming more relaxed, and I used to have a lot of depression and anxiety which I just couldn't get rid of. So all that came down a lot by Silva. During my college times and all, I used to have sinus headaches almost all the time, migraine headaches almost all the time, and it was just never going away. After starting Silva, it just went away. I never had to take a tablet for migraine or sinusitis ever since. Then, and then the journey just continued after that. It has been really transformational for me, both in terms of my physical and mental well-being. And I should say that as a result of the techniques and what you learn in Silva, it's made my entire life different. It changes the outlook that we have. It takes you on a very nice spiritual journey if you continue on that. I would say it was a mind-blowing experience.
Great, great. So, stage is all yours. Can we share more about the Silva method and its detail?
Okay, so good morning, friends. Nice to have you all here. And I'm going to give you an introduction, tell you what Silva is about, and hopefully by the end of the session, you all would be able to benefit a little bit. So imagine a world where there was a lot less sickness around us. Imagine if we were not falling ill that sick. Imagine if the people around us were not falling ill that sick, but that fast, sorry. And imagine if the old people that we know of are, elderly people in our house, if we didn't have to be always worried, are they getting worse? Are they going to get ill? Like, imagine if people could just die from, natural causes and not, all the chronic diseases that we have today. So in the book, You the Healer by Jose Silva, some of the first lines start like this. You need not live a life of sickness. You need not die from ill health, and that it is your natural state to be healthy. So these are really mind-blowing words. And it gives us food for thought, especially, in times like ours, where we are faced with the COVID-19 pandemic. There is a lot of illness and sickness going on all around us. That can we, make our life better than this? Can we improve our health levels? Can we improve the health of the people around us? And that is where I would like to see if Silva can make a difference for us. So if we look at the just give me a second. Sorry, my computer just got stuck for a minute.
No issue. Take your time. Meanwhile, our audience, if you have any question related to, although that really should fall up at the end of the session. Yeah, PPT is visible now.
Okay, so shall I continue?
Yeah.
Okay, so if we look at the leading causes of diseases, the causes of death in countries like ours, this is data from the WHO, we can see that ischemic heart disease and stroke top the list. And the risk factors for these diseases are a high amount of low density lipoprotein, cholesterol, diabetes, and a high blood pressure, all of which are linked to stress. Now, what is stress? Stress is actually the body's natural defense system against danger. The problem is when we let stress to take over our lives. And I wouldn't say it's entirely our fault, because in today's world, stressors are there everywhere. There is stress in the workplace, there is stress at home. Even children are subjected to a lot of stress in the educational system that they have. So stress is just everywhere. And like what Danze Pace, the writer, said, stress is the trash of modern life. We just can't avoid it. And what does stress do to our body? It gives us depression, anxiety, the blood pressure increases. We have a lot of chronic other diseases which come. And the worst part is we have the immunity going down, and increase in the stress causes the immunity to be suppressed. In fact, the stress hormone cortisol in itself has been shown to have effects which damage the white blood cells. So the immunity just goes down. And like what I mentioned today, having COVID-19 around us, I think immunity is something we don't want to let go of. So the American Psychological Association said that one of the researched ways to reduce stress is mindfulness meditation. So what is meditation? It is to think deeply about something or to focus one's mind on something. And essentially with meditation, it's not what you gain, it's what you lose. Like you lose anger, anxiety, fear, and I think that pretty much eliminates a lot of stress in our lives. This is a bit of the science behind the whole thing, behind how meditation probably helps us. See, this is the picture of the brain that you can see on the screen. And as you can see, the brain has the regions of the brain can be defined.
One minute, Dr. Sonia. Picture of brain is not visible, one thing. And if possible, can you put the full screen mode, the slide?
Okay.
Yeah. Now brain is here.
There.
And full screen mode will be better to view. The presentation mode, yeah.
Okay, so is it clear now?
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay. So the lowermost level of the brain is called as the vegetative level. It consists of the brainstem and the reticular formation. And this is the area which takes care of all the autopilot functions like the heartbeat and breathing, all that. The middle level is the limbic system, which consists of things like the thalamus, hypothalamus, pituitary gland. And this is the master endocrine gland in our body. And the uppermost level is the neocortical level. It consists of the frontal lobe and the neocortex. This is where the logical thinking takes place. This is the most complex area in our brain. Now, the important thing for us to remember is that a higher level can override lower level. That means when a stressor comes into our body, immediately the hypothalamus switches into action, and the anterior and posterior hypothalamus immediately starts the chemical reactions responsible for the stress response. It's possible for the neocortical level to step in, consciously stop the stress response if it is not required. That is where techniques like meditation come into play. We can consciously stop this from becoming a chronic process and sabotaging our lives. So this is a study which evaluated 52 patients. So these patients who had not meditated before. So they were divided into two groups, a meditation group and a control group. These patients had pharmacologically untreated blood pressure. And after 8 weeks of meditation, it was seen that there was a significant decrease in parameters like the heart rate, blood pressure, and the mental stress test. What is noteworthy in the study is that the blood pressure had decreased by almost 18 millimeters of mercury. And this is quite significant because we know by scientific studies that when the blood pressure increases by 20 millimeters of mercury, the risk of cardiovascular mortality increases twofold. So if meditation could decrease it by 18 millimeters, that's quite good. This is yet another study in which for 37 pregnant women were taken into the study.
Dr. Sonia, are you changing the slide? Its brain slide is visible here.
Oh, I am changing the slides,
Nice.
but probably I think due to some reason it is not reflecting. Shall I? Is this fine? Are you able to view now?
Effects of meditation on stress in a small mode is visible. Okay. Please continue in this manner only.
Okay. So this is another study in which pregnant women who were almost 12 weeks pregnant were recruited into the study. And what was done was mindfulness meditation was given to the study group, and the control group did not receive the meditation. And after 1 year, it was seen that the perceived stress scores in the women who received meditation had decreased. And also these other parameters that you see had decreased, which showed that meditation was a powerful modulator of the sympathetic nervous system, and that improves parasympathetic function. So we know that the sympathetic nervous system is the one which brings on the stress response, and the parasympathetic system is the one which de-stresses us. In this study also, we can see that people who received deep meditation along with simple breathing exercises, within 48 hours itself, the stress hormones, cortisol and adrenaline levels had declined. And this effect was sustained for almost 8 months after the study, which was quite significant. And there are a lot of other studies which we can find, which shows the beneficial effects on a range of diseases like asthma, cardiac illness, etc. Possibly stress, possibly meditation, because of this anti-stress effect, optimizes brain function, has an anti-aging effect, etc. So now let me tell you about the Silva course and the Silva method of meditation. This is, can you see the screen? Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Jose Silva. The picture that you see here is Jose Silva. He was the person who founded the Silva method. He was an American parapsychologist from Laredo, Texas. And in the 1940s, he developed a set of techniques that could increase our psychic abilities. It could improve people's IQ and also improve the ability of people to heal themselves or other people. So how did it all start? It all started when Jose Silva's children were not performing that well at school. So Jose wondered if he could help them out with some kind of mental training. So during his spare time, Jose used to read up a lot about psychology, and hypnosis really fascinated him. So he knew from this, from his knowledge in psychology, that the brain generates electrical impulses, which could be measured by an EEG, that is electroencephalograph. Now, Jose made his living from by repairing radios and televisions, so he knew about electronics as well. And he knew that the most effective circuit is one with the least resistance. So he tried to bring these two concepts together, and he said, if the brain can be made to function with the least resistance, maybe it would function more optimally. So Jose started experimenting with hypnosis on his children, and he was able to decrease the frequencies in their brain, and he did see that the brain was functioning better. It could receive information much better. It could store this information much better. The only problem was at these lower frequencies, the brain would fall asleep. So the end purpose was not being met. So that's how he then began to continue his research and develop the mind training exercises that we have today. So a quick look at the brain waves. So these are the 4 different types of brain waves that we know, or that is relevant for the purpose of this talk. That is beta, alpha, theta, and delta. So beta is the frequency with the highest number of impulses being generated. That is 14 to 30 cycles per second, or hertz. And we are all in beta right now. We spend majority of our life in beta, awake and doing the things that we do. If we go slightly lower, we find that there is alpha at 8 to 13 hertz. This is seen when, we are just, daydreaming, becoming a little drowsy, or, when you see your mind just wandering off. This is called as the flow state. It is a state of creativity. More on that later. As we come further down, we have theta, which is 4 to 7 hertz. This is seen when we are sleeping or in deep meditation and even hypnosis. And finally, we have delta, which is less than 4 hertz, and this is seen in deep sleep. Now, meditation essentially slows down the brainwave frequency from beta to either alpha or theta. So in the studies which Jose Silva did, what he found that the alpha waves were the strongest. It was the most synchronous waves, and this was the the ideal waves, the ideal state of brain. What he was thinking about, that is, the frequency, it was lower, and so the resistance of the brain was the lowest at this particular level. So he called this as the center, and he realized that this is the gateway to the subconscious mind, the gateway to the spiritual world, to the mental world, in many ways we can call. And this is the place of maximum creativity. Jose Silva studied several successful people, and he saw that he actually studied them with biofeedback equipment and the EEG. And he saw that when these successful people were being asked some question which involved decision making, or where they had to come up with some idea, they would quickly dip from beta to alpha, take the ideas while at the alpha level or the decisions while at the alpha level, and come back to beta to implement it or talk about it. So he realized that there is something special about alpha. He then experimented on the normal people, and he found that 10% of people, that is 1 in 10 people, are natural alpha thinkers. That is, they do the same thing. They come to alpha, take the ideas, and come back. Now, what about the rest of us? What about the rest of the 90%? He wanted to know if they could be trained so that they could go to alpha and use alpha just like these natural alpha thinkers. So that is what he started researching about. Theta level, what he found, was the level which people enter when they are taken into hypnosis or they are in deep sleep, and here the brain waves are slower than alpha. Delta is the one that is seen when we are unconscious. He also found that delta was the very first brain waves that are seen in the fetus, and delta is also the very last brain wave seen when a person dies. So he concluded that there is some connection between delta and the higher intelligence. And beta, he found, is the least stable of the brain waves. The reason is because when we are physically active and we are using our physical senses a lot, the mind actually focuses, not the mind, the body focuses all this energy on the physical activities. So the brain doesn't get so much of energy at that time. And that's why we have beta, which is a very unstable frequency. So beta triggers a lot of thoughts, the thought rates are very high, and beta is associated with depression, anxiety. On the other hand, the other levels, the lower levels, are the ones which is not associated with depression and anxiety, that it is associated with calmness. So that is why we would like to remain more and more in these lower frequencies and get our ideas from there. Theta is the one which is associated with the painless surgeries and all. You must have heard of the painless surgeries. So theta is like the control panel of our brain. So if you put a person in hypnosis and suggest something to them, the programming of the brain becomes reset. So they can, they don't experience pain. They can be made to do things which otherwise they wouldn't do. So that is where theta is important as far as healing is concerned. So this is a study in which an EEG was applied to the brain, and meditation was indeed seen to increase the alpha and theta waves significantly in about 18 patients. So what style of meditation is the Silva method? It is a active style of meditation. The other method that we know of is the passive style. In the passive style, there are no thoughts in the mind. In the Silva method, thoughts are encouraged. You are encouraged to have thoughts. In fact, use your thoughts constructively. We'll come to that later. So it's something where you have to keep yourself mentally active. Studies have shown that patients who did active meditation showed a significant enhancement in their mood, and also parasympathetic nervous system parameters significantly improved in these patients. So active meditation, this is a scientific thing to back that active meditation could definitely help us. So when you want to start the meditation, we need to find a quiet place where there is no distractions. Silva says that it would be recommended if we can sit on a chair or a comfortable bed, sit straight, the neck should not be slumped, keep your hands loosely on your lap, and close your eyes. Now, in case you find this to be a position that you're not comfortable with, let your then you can sit cross-legged or in any posture that you find comfortable, because the main thing that he wanted was people to be comfortable so that we could relax better. Once we close our eyes, we need to lift up the eyeballs behind our eyelids at a 20-degree angle, at a 20-degree angle inclined to the top. The reason for this is that when we do this, there is alpha waves triggered in our brain when this particular action is made behind our eyelids. So that would help us to get into the alpha state a bit faster. And then just follow the instructions that you will be hearing from the instructor. It's as simple as that. Now, what if you find yourself itching somewhere? It does happen when, just when you want to sit quietly, something comes up somewhere. He says, no problem, you can scratch that itch. Do it slowly so that you don't break your meditation or the flow of events. Slowly, you can scratch that itch, make yourself comfortable. What if you're not, you have already started the meditation and halfway across you realize, oh, I'm not comfortable. I want to keep my legs in some other way. He says, you can do it. You can change your position. Just again, do it slightly slowly, not like all of a sudden, because being comfortable is key. The only thing that we should not do is open the eyes, because the moment we open our eyes, we go into the beta state, and that breaks the meditation. So in case for some reason you have to, open the eyes, then no problem, stop the exercise, go back to the beginning of the exercise, start again. Now, what if we fall asleep? It does happen because we are not naturally trained to be at alpha. So, sometimes, just as we reach alpha and we start being in that state, we might tend to fall asleep. Again, Jose Silva says, no problem. You will learn it in due course. Start the exercise again. Only this time, change your position or change your location so that, there's a slight amount of discomfort. So, the slight amount of discomfort will, help you to not fall asleep that fast. Sometimes you might feel that nothing happened. This happened to me actually. The initial 5 times or so, I felt the exercise was effective. And after that, when I did, I felt that, nothing's happening. Is something wrong? So again, this also can happen because sometimes your brain slowly gets attuned to being an alpha and it becomes like a normal thing for the brain. So again, at that time, you might not feel a profound effect like what you felt the first time. So again, no problem. Once you have done completed the steps, take it for granted that you are an alpha, you will be there. Okay, there are 3 things that we need to practice while doing the Silva exercise. The first one is concentration. So there are a set of instructions that will be given. Don't worry, it's not very hard instructions. So you have to concentrate so that you are able to follow the instructions. Don't concentrate too hard because then you're pressurizing your brain and you will not be able to relax. Just be calm, follow the instructions as it is being said to you. The second most important thing is imagination. Now, this is key to the Silva exercise. You can imagine in the most profound way possible. Think about this, like if you want something to create an impact on your brain, you really need to think about it using all of your senses. If I tell you to think of an apple, we naturally tend to think of an apple somewhere, like a picture or, just an apple that we see by the side of the, in the shop or something. No, when I say imagination, what I mean is picturize yourself going to the refrigerator, opening the refrigerator, taking out the apple from there, feel the apple. Is it smooth? What is the color of the apple? Is it red? Is it green? Are there any blemishes on the apple? Then, picturize yourself washing it, again, taking it in your hands and biting into the apple, feel what is the taste of the apple. So you can, think of it as sour if it is green, or sweet or tangy, and you will actually see the juices in your mouth flowing. So that is the power of imagination. If we take healing, for example, let's say somebody wants to heal the pain that they have on the knees. So think of how much more happier you would be if the pain was not there. Imagine yourself running and jumping and doing all the things that you want to do that you could have done if that pain was not there. Imagine going for walks, going somewhere for a trek. So that is imagination. You have to just let it flow so that your brain really gets the message. The last and final thing is physical relaxation. Again, Jose Silva found that in order to reach the alpha level, we need to relax both the mind as well as the body. He found that it's easier to relax the mind than to relax the body. So he devised a method by which we can use the mind to relax our body in a step-by-step manner. And once the body was completely at rest, we could then relax our mind, and this would enable us to easily slip into alpha without much of effort. Okay, the next thing in the Silva exercise is called as a trigger. So what is a trigger? A trigger is, it can be anything. It can be a phrase, it can be a number, it can be a color, anything. Okay, so the mind is a very fascinating thing. Scientists found that the brain can easily or tends to associate one thing with another. So Jose Silva utilized this concept to create a trigger. So what he did is he mentioned specific numbers, that is 3, 2, 1 in the exercise, and these numbers are then associated with physical relaxation, mental relaxation, and entering the alpha level. So in due time, what happens is that you just have to say these triggers and immediately you will enter the alpha phase. It's that simple. So let me explain to you what are the triggers and how does it work in the Silva method. So when the instructor starts giving you the instructions, the words will be something like this. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, mentally repeat and visualize the number 3 times. So you have to think of the number 3 in whichever way you want. It can be like, as though it is projected on a giant movie screen, or, on a giant signboard, or printed on a piece of paper. It's your wish what you want to do, but just you have to think of the number 3, visualize it, and see it coming 3 times, 3, 3, 3. You will now receive instructions on how to relax each part of the body one by one, which will sound something like this. Concentrate your sense of awareness on your scalp. You will detect a fine vibration, a tingling sensation, a feeling of warmth caused by circulation. So again, this is where you have to use your imagination. Some of us will be immediately able to perceive this. We will feel there is a vibration and we can feel the vibration coming down. But sometimes we may not be able to feel this. At that time, we really have to use our creativity. You could think of a white light shining on that area of your body and the vibrations coming down. or you could think of a warm, wet cloth being applied on that area of the body and the vibrations coming down. In any way that you want, you can think. Just ensure that at each step, each part of the body that is mentioned slowly goes into relaxation, so that at the end of this exercise, your body is completely relaxed. Then the second trigger is the number 2. So you will hear the same words. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, mentally repeat and visualize the number 2 3 times. So 2, 2, 2. And then we have to imagine a tranquil and passive scene in our mind. So what is the meaning of a tranquil and passive scene? Just think back to which was the last time when you had a really, comfortable vacation where you didn't have to think of anything at all. You did not have any stress, did not have anything lingering on your mind. In case such a moment is not available for you to recall, we can create a scene in our mind. So it can be, spending some time at the beach or a walk through the park. Again, we have to take our imagination on a journey here. So let's say, for example, if you're walking through the park, you have to really think and feel like you're being there. Imagine you're sitting on the grass over there. There is nobody around you. You are just enjoying the breeze, which is just perfect. The temperature is just perfect. You can hear the birds singing in the distance or squirrels running around, and you can see that the trees just shaking a little bit in the breeze. What you can think is just endless. Just imagine and feel calm. And once this is done, once your mind is at rest, then you will see the number 1. You have to visualize the number 1. Mentally, take a deep breath, and as you exhale, mentally repeat and visualize the number 1 3 times, and take it for granted that you have now entered alpha. It will happen. Do not have doubts, because the moment you have doubts, your brain is not going to be, in tune with what you're doing. So do not have any doubts. You are mentally and physically relaxed, and you will slip into alpha. At this stage, if you are doing one of the longer exercise, the longer centering exercise, which in the Silva method, you will also go through a countdown from 10 to 1, which will help you go a little deeper into the relaxation. After this, once you're in alpha, you will hear a series of statements. These are called as programming statements or affirmation statements. So let's have a look at what are these programming statements. So Jose Silva found that there are specific words which when we are told at the alpha level, that is a relaxed level, can have a profound effect on our subconscious or on our programming. So I like to think of some of the words by Joseph Murphy in his book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, in which he says, there is a miraculous healing power in our subconscious. Okay, and you just have to tap into it. It's there, it's very much there. And Jose Silva also found the same thing, that once we reach our subconscious, we can do a lot of things with our subconscious. We can change belief systems, we can try to heal our bodies. There's a whole lot of things we can do. So the problem is that right from a very young age, we have been programmed for ill health rather than good health. I'll give you a simple example. For example, as a child, when you are told, don't go out into the rain, you will catch a cold, or don't go out into the cold weather, you will catch a cold. This is programming. And when this happens, your mind believes this. The thing about the subconscious mind is it has no filtering system. You can put whatever you want into the subconscious mind, and it's going to accept it without any logic. It's not like the conscious mind, which has logic. So you tell yourself that doing this is going to make you sick, you will most likely fall ill. Another example which I can give you is I know of a family where everyone falls sick the moment they plan a vacation to their hometown. So one day, one person from the family told me this: every time we plan a vacation, we fall ill. See, probably it happened as a coincidence a couple of times, but then it was there in their mindset. Oh, every time we plan a vacation, we're going to fall ill. And now the thing is, every single time they plan a vacation to the hometown, they fall ill. So that's the amount of effect that programming at the subconscious level has. Which brings me to another important note is, you remember I told you about the different levels of the different frequencies, the brainwave frequencies. Until the age of 10, children are mostly functioning in the alpha level or lower. So when a child is born, generally they are in the theta or delta kind of a wavelength frequency. And as the brain matures is when the beta frequencies and alpha frequencies come. In fact, beta is not seen till after the age of 10. So the child, when it is very young, is being continuously programmed. Whatever the child sees, whatever the child hears, the experiences that the child has is all going into programming. So the child sees, worry, stress, ill health, all this is going to get programmed in there. And that is why when we grow up, we have these belief systems that we just cannot get rid of. Jose Silva found that we can overcome this type of programming by having beneficial statements and affirmations told to us when we are in this alpha state, so that we can overcome that negative programming that we had as a child. So this is about affirmations. So affirmations was, the concept of affirmations was brought about by this famous French physician called as Émile Coué. In the beginning of the 20th century, Émile Coué was known for some remarkable documented healings. What he did was, he combined the power of Western medicine with these affirmative statements that he would tell to his patients. And what he found that when patients were made to repeat positive healing statements when they were in a relaxed state of mind, it was countless more powerful than when it was told to them when they were awake. And he used this to create do a lot of healings during that time. And this is a study in which there were about 46 participants who were having sedentary behaviors, and half of them were given affirmations and the other half were not. And 1 month later, the scientists noted that affirmations did in fact create some kind of activity in the brain. So the first picture that you see is of the brain, and you can see one area which is highlighted there. This is a ventromedial prefrontal cortex where activity was seen in the patients who received the affirmations. So definitely affirmations does do something in your brain. Now, if you see figure A, they measured the level of this activity and they found that it was significantly higher in the patients who received the affirmations. And 1 month later, they saw how the sedentary lifestyle of these patients had been affected. And what they saw was that the patients who had received the affirmations, they had a much more better physically active lifestyle. The sedentary behavior had decreased a lot more than the people who had not received the affirmations. So that means that affirmations does help us a lot. This is another study in which 73 participants were given affirmations. Prior to the affirmations, they were tested using a remote associates task, which tests the amount of stress. And the same thing was done after the affirmations. And it was seen that the people who were highly stressed showed a significant decline, or they showed better results when they had these self-affirmations done. So let us now have a look at what are these beneficial statements that we see in a typical Silva centering exercise. They go like this. The first one is, my increasing mental faculties are for serving humanity better. So Jose Silva along the path of his research, came to understand that we are primarily sent here to Earth to improve the lives of everybody around us and increase and make the conditions of the living conditions on planet Earth better. So by this statement, he reminds us of this, that you are definitely going to increase your mental faculties, and it is for serving humanity better. The second one is, every day, in every way, I am getting better, better, and better. This was one of Emile Coué's most famous affirmations. So the thing is, this subconscious mind is a very malleable thing. Whatever you put into it, it accepts. So if somebody asks us, how are you? And if you say, I'm not doing too good, while it might be true, I don't deny that you might be having something bad going on in your life. The subconscious also believes the statement that you make, that what you're doing is that you're in a bad state. If you say, I'm fine, it's good, but that is limiting, you're stopping it there. But when you say, I'm getting better and better, there you are automatically putting into your subconscious that you are going to be doing better and better at every single level, whether it might be emotional, whether it might be physical, or whether it might be mental. So you are unconsciously programming your subconscious to keep looking for things to get better and better. And in the long run, it is going to get better and better. The third statement is, positive thoughts bring me benefits and advantages I desire. So this is quite self-explanatory. So, when you have positive mental pictures, you also harness positive energy and positive advantages. And the last one is, I have full control and complete dominion over my sensory faculties at this level of the mind and any other level, including the outer conscious level. And this is so. So Jose Silva never intended us to lose control over our mental abilities, mental state, even when we are doing the exercise. So this is not some hypnosis where you're going to be in a trance. You are going to be in full control, and you can snap out of this at any time that you want to. Now, generally, after you have been in the alpha level for a little amount of time, you will now hear the post-effect statements. That is what your mind will feel once you are going to be coming out of level. So here, Jose Silva programmed these specific statements. Every time you function at these levels of the mind, you will receive beneficial effects physically and mentally. You may use these levels of the mind to help yourself physically and mentally. You may use these levels of the mind to help your loved ones physically and mentally. So all of these are self-explanatory. The fourth one is, you may use these levels of the mind to help any human being who needs help physically and mentally. You will never use these levels of the mind to harm any human being. If this be your intention, you will not be able to function within these levels of the mind. And the last is, you will always use these levels of the mind in a constructive, creative manner for all that is good, honest, pure, clean, and positive, and this is so. So during his research, Jose Silva found that once you enter the lower levels, that is alpha and theta, and you are starting to have the intentions that you want for whatever purposes, for healing or anything else, you cannot use these levels for anything bad. It just doesn't happen. So he actually tried it out on people. He told them to think of bad intention or intentions where somebody would get harmed. And what feedback he received was, people told that either they would just snap out of alpha, that is, they couldn't continue with this any further, or that thing would not happen. It just wouldn't manifest itself in reality. So he realized that the higher power, higher intelligence will not allow us to harm anybody. So it just will not happen. So that's what these levels are, these statements mean. And once we are done with this, we then start coming out of level, which is typically done by counting from 1 to 5. So at the count of 5, you will open your eyes, be wide awake, feeling fine, and in perfect health, feeling better than before. And with this, the centering exercise that we have in the Silva method is over, and we can come back to doing whatever we want to do. So ideally, the centering exercise during the initial stages takes about half an hour. But what happens is that as we practice this exercise a few times, it becomes very automatic. You know how to relax your body. So in time, you don't need somebody to instruct you how to do it. And with time, you just need to go 3, 2, 1, and you are at alpha, and you can count yours once you've finished, doing the healings, what you want to do. You can just count yourself back up from 1 to 5, and continue with your daily life. It might just take about 5 minutes, or if you can devote 15 minutes, that's about it. And there are people who after practicing this several times, they say that they don't even need to close their eyes. They can just defocus their eyes and think of 3, 2, 1, and they are already in alpha. So even with practice, even that level can be reached. Jose Silva mentions that initially, as when we are in the learning curve, the best time to practice, the first best time is in the morning after we have woken up. The second best time is in the night when we are just about to go to sleep. And the third best time is in the noon time after we've had our lunch. The reason for this is, he says that these are the times when the brain is likely to be most relaxed. So it's easier to go into alpha. He says 5 minutes of practice is good, 10 minutes is very good, and 15 minutes is excellent. So if you can get in 15 minutes of practice every day, it's excellent. Practicing once a day is good, twice a day is very good, and if you can get 3 times a day, excellent. And if you have a health problem that you want to correct, then practice for 15 minutes, 3 times a day. So shall we have the Silva exercise now? It's a short demo exercise.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I would encourage people who, you don't actually need headphones, but if you feel that, some people would like to get headphones, you can get the headphones. You can just, take a sip of water or something if you want, a couple of minutes. Find a, comfortable position. So shall we start?
Yes.
Okay, so just relax, listen to the instructions that are being given to you. So this will be in Hindi, because I think most of the people are comfortable with Hindi. So this will be the Hindi version of the exercise which is being played. And this will give you a kind of insight into it's a short version of the exercise, because the long version will take a complete half an hour, and it's too big for this session. So it will give you an insight about what kind of exercise is the Silva method going to be. Okay, and I'm going to start it.
एक्सरसाइज शुरू करना है। अपनी कुर्सी पर आराम से बैठ जाए। आंखें बंद कीजिए। एक गहरी सांस ले और सांस छोड़ते हुए आरामदेह महसूस करते हुए गहराई में जाए। अब आप मन के अधिक गहरे और स्वस्थ लेवल पर हैं, पहले से अधिक गहरे। आपके मन के अधिक गहरे और स्वस्थ लेवल में जाने के लिए मैं 10 से 1 तक नंबर गिनूंगा। हर नंबर कम होने के साथ साथ आप मन के अधिक गहरे और स्वस्थ लेवल पर पहुंच जाएंगे। 10, 9, अधिक गहरे जाते महसूस कीजिए। 8, 7, 6, गहरे और गहरे। 5, 4, 3, गहरे और गहरे। 2, 1। अब आप मन के अधिक गहरे और स्वस्थ लेवल पर हैं, पहले से अधिक गहरे। मन के और अधिक गहरे और स्वस्थ लेवल पर जाने के लिए अपनी पलकों को ढीला छोड़िए। अनुभव कीजिए कितना आराम है। अब इस आरामदेह अनुभव की प्रवाह को शरीर के हर भाग में महसूस करते हुए धीरे धीरे नीचे पांव तक ले जाइए। इस तरह गहरी आरामदेह अनुभव करना कितना स्वस्थ और शांतिपूर्ण है। आपको और गहरे और स्वस्थ लेवल तक पहुंचाने के लिए मैं अब 1 से 3 गिनने जा रहा हूँ। नंबर 3 की गिनती पर मैं एक चुटकी बजाऊंगा। उस पर आप कल्पना से अपने आदर्श विश्राम स्थल में जाएंगे। फिर मैं आपसे बात करना बंद करूंगा। उसके बाद जब आप मेरी आवाज सुनेंगे तब मन के इस लेवल पर 1 घंटा बीत चुका होगा। मेरी आवाज से आप चौंकेंगे नहीं, आप एक गहरी सांस लेंगे और शांति अनुभव करते हुए और गहराई में जाएंगे। 1, 2, 3। अब आप जब तक दोबारा मेरी आवाज न सुने तब तक अपनी कल्पना से आराम और शांति देने वाली अपनी आदर्श विश्राम स्थल पर जाएं और आराम करें। रिलैक्स। रिलैक्स। एक गहरी सांस ले और सांस छोड़ते हुए शांतिपूर्ण और आरामदेह अनुभव करें। आप मेरी आवाज सुनते रहेंगे। आप मन के सभी स्थितियों में, जैसे कि इस भीतरी आत्मिक चेतन अवस्था में और सचेतन अवस्था में भी मेरे निर्देशों के अनुसार चलेंगे। इसमें आपके विकास और उन्नति है। आप ऐसा चाहते हैं और ऐसा ही है। आप जब भी शांति या रिलैक्स शब्द सुनेंगे, आपके शरीर की सारी बेकार की हलचल बंद हो जाएगी और आप पूरी तरह शारीरिक और मानसिक रूप से शांत और निष्क्रिय हो जाएंगे। मैं आपको इस गहरी लेवल से बाहर लाने के लिए 1 से 5 तक गिनूंगा। तब आपकी आंखें खुल जाएगी। आप पूरी तरह से जागरूक, सचेत व स्वस्थ अनुभव करेंगे। मैं आपके बाएं कंधे पर 3 बार छूकर आपको आपके मन की गहरी लेवल्स से वापस ला सकता हूँ। जब आपके बाएं कंधे पर मेरा हाथ तीसरी बार छुएगा, तब आप अपने आंखें खोलकर पूरी तरह से जागरूक, सचेत व स्वस्थ महसूस करेंगे और ऐसा ही है। एक प्रतिभाशाली व्यक्ति और एक साधारण व्यक्ति में ये अंतर है कि प्रतिभाशाली व्यक्ति अपने मस्तिष्क का अधिक प्रयोग करता है और एक विशेष ढंग से प्रयोग करता है। अब आप अपने मस्तिष्क का अधिक प्रयोग करने की विधि और विशेष ढंग से प्रयोग करने की विधि को सीख रहे हैं। ये कुछ ऐसी बातें हैं जो आपके लाभ एवं कल्याण के लिए है। मन में इन लेवल्स पर कभी कभी इन्हें दोहराएं। अभी आप इन बातों को मेरे बाद मन ही मन में दोहराएं। मैं मनुष्य की सेवा के लिए अपने मन की शक्ति को बेहतर बना रहा हूँ। मैं हर दिन हर तरह से बेहतर, बेहतर और बेहतर होता जा रहा हूँ। सकारात्मक विचार मुझे वो सभी फायदे देंगे जो मैं चाहता हूँ। मेरे मन के इन भीतरी लेवल्स यानी आत्मिक स्तर पर और बाहर के चेतन लेवल पर मेरी अपनी ज्ञानेंद्रियों पर पूरा काबू है। मन के किसी भी लेवल पर नकारात्मक विचारों का कोई भी असर मुझ पर नहीं है। मैं हर पल शरीर और मन से स्वस्थ रहूंगा। अगले एक्सरसाइज में हम एक विशेष प्रकार की ध्वनि का उपयोग करेंगे। इस ध्वनि से आपको शारीरिक और मानसिक रूप से शांति मिलेगी और मन के अधिक गहरे और स्वस्थ लेवल पहुंचने में सहायता मिलेगी। अगले एक्सरसाइज में आप मन के अधिक गहरे लेवल पर जाने के लिए 5 से 1 पद्धति का प्रयोग करेंगे। आप कुछ ही पल में सिर से पांव तक आराम पहुंचाने की तकनीक सीखेंगे, जिसको लेवल 3 कहा जाता है। लेवल 2 पर आप पूर्ण रूप से मन को शांत करना सीखेंगे। लेवल 1 पर आप ध्यान कब और कैसे करना है ये सीखेंगे। आप मन के किसी भी लेवल से किसी भी समय बाहर आना भी सीखेंगे। आगे चलकर हम आपके लिए 2 नए सूत्र प्रकार तकनीकों का अंकन करेंगे। पहला तकनीक है अवेकनिंग टेक्निक, यानी नींद आने पर जागे रहने की तकनीक, और दूसरा तकनीक है एनर्जाइजिंग टेक्निक, यानी तरोताजा महसूस करने की तकनीक। ये दोनों तकनीक अफर्मेशंस यानी आदेशों पर आधारित है। मन के इन लेवल्स पर काम करना आपके लिए शारीरिक और मानसिक रूप से लाभदायक है। आप मन के इन लेवल्स का उपयोग स्वयं को शारीरिक और मानसिक रूप से सहायता पहुंचाने के लिए कर सकते हैं। आप मन के इन लेवल्स का उपयोग अपने सगे संबंधियों को शारीरिक और मानसिक रूप से सहायता पहुंचाने के लिए कर सकते हैं। आप मन के इस लेवल्स का उपयोग किसी भी व्यक्ति को शारीरिक और मानसिक रूप से सहायता पहुंचाने के लिए कर सकते हैं। आप मन के इन लेवल्स का प्रयोग कभी भी किसी भी व्यक्ति को हानि पहुंचाने के लिए नहीं करेंगे। यदि आपको ऐसी कोई इच्छा हुई, आप मन के इन लेवल्स पर काम नहीं कर पाएंगे। आप हमेशा मन के इन लेवल्स का प्रयोग रचनात्मक और सृजनात्मक रूप में शुभ, पवित्र, गुणकारी एवं सकारात्मक कामों के लिए करेंगे, और ऐसा ही है। कुछ ही समय में मैं 1 से 5 तक गिनकर चुटकी बजाऊंगा। उस समय आप धीरे धीरे अपनी आंखें खोलेंगे। आप पूरी तरह से जागरूक, सचेत और पहले से स्वस्थ महसूस करेंगे। आप सिर में किसी भी प्रकार की कोई बेचैनी महसूस नहीं करेंगे। आपके कानों में कोई भनभनाहट महसूस नहीं होगी। मन के इन लेवल्स पर काम करने से आपकी दृष्टि एवं सुनने की शक्ति पहले से बेहतर होता जाएगा। 1, 2, धीरे धीरे बाहर आइए। 3, नंबर 5 पर अपनी आंखें खोलेंगे। आप पूरी तरह से जागरूक, सचेत और पहले से स्वस्थ महसूस करेंगे। वैसा ही जैसे कि एक सुकून भरी नींद से उठने के बाद आप तरोताजा महसूस करते हैं। 4, 5 आंखें खोलें। अब आप पूरी तरह से सचेत, जागरूक और पहले से स्वस्थ महसूस कर रहे हैं।